And welcome back to another episode of Life in Prison. My name's Zach. Today, we got the mascot, little dog, up on over here on our side. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you can first informed when I upload, because we on it. So, as before, this is a prison channel, pretty much all prison-related content. So if you're involved, you like it, you're interested, go ahead, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So, today what we're going to be actually talking about, chomos. A lot of people actually wanted me to divulge a little bit more into the population of sex offenders, child molesters, chomos, in the West Virginia penitentiary or prison system. So whenever I was locked up, it's been a few years since I've been locked up now. When I was locked up, there was a good bit of sex offenders. Now, certain places you can get away with certain things. A lot of child molesters do get extorted, pretty much. Those are the ones that get preyed on, because at the end of the day, it's hard coming by good dudes while in prison. So most of the time, you don't want to do some fuck shit to some legitimate guys, because it's few far and in between. So you just get a bad name doing that shit. So, and most of the time, to be honest with you, all these dudes that got these sex charges, they all have the money. I don't know why, their family, friends, whatever, why they send them in money, but like a lot of these dudes, they have like money. And a lot of the younger dudes that are coming in with the sex charges, like the 20 and 30-year-old guys, they end up getting in trouble, fucking with a 16, 17-year-old. They come in for statutory type stuff. They're victims. They're going to be preyed upon because you're in there for a sex charge. I would say in West Virginia, maximum security prison, the only prison that I've been to was maximum security ones, Hudsonville and Mount Olive. So I would say honestly there, the sex offenders, they're honestly actually like protected. And I say that in the sense of, if you were to do anything to any of them, if you were to smack them, spit on them, punch them, extort them, obviously they're gonna run and tell. But like the prison, they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go the whole, even if this dude end up fucking a kid, you know what I'm saying, like a baby, if you do anything to these dudes, you're the one that's gonna be going to the hole. With different states having different penitentiaries, there's different levels in maximum security wise, different levels. So a lot of these dudes that have these sex charges, right, like the crazy sex charges, these guys have big sentences, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 1,000-year sentences. Like whenever you really divulge into stuff like that, like really when you start fucking with babies and doing weird shit, like you really get big boy time. So there's only so many places in West Virginia that these dudes can go to. So with Mount Olive being the top. So if you got 10 years or more, they're sending you to Mount Olive. The only place is Hudsonville. And they have dorms for people with sex offenses and stuff like that. But with the population being only so many, there's going to be sprinkled sex offenders throughout the whole prison. So on a regular dorm, you're going to be bunking next to a dude that fucking jacked off the little kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to say the last time that there was a survey done was in February of 2022. So as of February 2022, there is approximately 750,000 in the United States, 750,000 registered sex offenders. Those are just the ones that are out and about and registered. There's a lot of ones that they've never been caught yet. I would say there's probably hundreds of thousands of them that's just never been caught, or pretty much never been caught. West Virginia alone, though, as of the 1st of February, facts, there is 5,438 registered sex offenders just in West Virginia alone. As I've said before in another video, you can go online to your local government website and look up the sex offenders registered list, because if you're a sex offender, you have to register. If not, then you get locked back up. There's a lot of dudes that I've seen that get locked back up just because the simple fact is they didn't want to register. So now they come back to prison. There's a few people I know in everyday life, to be honest with you, that are registered sex offenders. You'd be surprised, like I pulled it up for here locally, right? As I said before in another video, once again, you pull that shit up, it looks like the fucking place has the mumps, right? That's Martinsburg. That's a 3-mile radius in Martinsburg. Tell me why the place looks like it's got the mumps. That's just the sex offenders around a 3-mile radius of Martinsburg. And I believe there was 23 within a 3-mile radius of Martinsburg. There's 23 of them. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to put their names up there, but it gives you a list of who's who. And there's been a lot of debate and discussion on the race of people doing these offenses, more or less. Like, at the end of the day, facts is what boils down. Because anybody can say anything. I like facts, you know what I'm saying? When I was locked up, there was a lot of dudes of all races, you know what I'm saying? Whites, blacks, Hispanics, not too many Asian people in West Virginia locked up, but you know, pretty much all across the whole board. But facts-wise, if you want to go, so February 10th of 2021 was when the survey was taken. It says the demographic of individuals convicted of sex abuse offenses is more mixed. 42% are white, 18% are black, 10% are Hispanic, and 31% are Native American, with a large percent of Native Americans in this offense type explained by the fact that it likely reflects on the legality of where they're at. And that's those, and once again, these are the ones that are registered. Because like I said, there's a lot of people that have just never been caught, so they can't be registered sex offenders. But what I can say is a lot of the younger ones that would come in, you know, they would get slapped. Pretty much off gate, they would get slapped. You know, on a daily, you get called a fucking chomo, because most prisons, like I said, they're small. You only got a couple thousand men, and if you're there for a couple years, you get to know who's who. At the end of the day, people may not know you, but you know who people are, as long as you keep your eyes and ears open, right? So when you got a lot of these young kids coming in that they're real quiet and they don't really talk, at the end of the day, you can find out why people are there. And at the end of the day, that's also why they're there. In jail, they get it rough, because in jail you got a lot of dudes, like I said in my last video, feel like they need to make a name for themselves. So they'll sheep kill. You got a lot of these young 20, 30-year-old dudes coming in for some sex charges, real quiet. They don't want to say anything because they don't want to cause trouble, because they know they're about to get fucked up anyways. So that's when people get to smash them off in jail and start. That's where the extortion starts, is in jail. You got a lot of dudes that know they're about to get out, so they'll fucking trash these guys, knowing they're going to have a long road ahead of them. So when they do get to prison, what do you think is going to happen? Either you're going to check in because you got slapped, beat the fuck up, or you can start paying people. And that's honestly what a lot of them end up doing is, long-term wise, if you get money from home, every week you got to pay $20, $30, $50, $100 to live on this block. You know, if someone has money, at the end of the day, say if I'm about to go and extort somebody, I'm going to do my research, because if I'm asking for a certain amount of money that they can't really get their hands on, then there's no point, then I have nothing, right? But if you get $100 a month, I need 50% of that. If you want to live on this dorm, make sure you're good. You ain't got to worry about nobody. But you're going to pay this. If not, you're going to get beat the fuck up, and then you're going to have to move dorms and go through all this shit all over again. Because like I said, a lot of these sex offenders are classified higher classifications. So once you go to 3 and up, 4 and 5 in West Virginia prison systems, that's when the maximum security comes into play. There's only 2 prisons in West Virginia that hold maximum security inmates. So there's only 2 places you can go. And if you don't have a big boy sentence, they're not going to send you to Mount Olive, where these big boy sentence people are. Unfortunately, me, I only had a 1 in 10, but affiliation and write-ups and a bunch of shit that I kind of put myself in. If you're not that type of person and you're just some dude with a sex charge and you keep getting slapped up, what you can do is you can check in, you'll go to the hole and live for a couple years in the hole until you feel like you're safe enough to come back out, and then try to face life then. Honestly, Mount Olive is filled with sex offenders. As I said, some of the most heinous things that I've seen, you know, when people start fucking with babies and stuff like that, and relatives, and, you know, there's a lot of incest going on. Like I said, I've been locked up with a dude that, you know, ate his family, chopped him up. You know, there's a lot of grotesque shit. As I said before, if you can think of any type of crime, someone's done it and someone's in prison for it. I've never really understood why people go for kids. You know what I'm saying? Why people are attracted to children. I guess that's just something that a normal person would never be able to understand, I guess. You know, I remember when I was a child, you know, the innocence. Do you get what I'm saying? You would be taking that. I guess, I don't know. I don't want to divulge down that fucking road. You know, some people just, I just can't think like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. At the end of the day, you have to be careful with who you do and who you mess around with. It's sad because nowadays, honestly, there's a lot of young teenage girls running around that look like they're 20, 30 years old because of all this makeup or the way they look, right? And they are not going to reveal their real age because they might be hanging around a crowd of people that might have cars or might be drinking or might have vape pens, whatever it may be. And they don't want to be that person, so they're just going to go with the flow. That's when things get dicey. If you're hanging around some unknowns, right? The only thing that you can do for yourself is to be safe for yourself because no one's going to do it for you. Make sure that people are of age because if not, like I said before, you don't want to be 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. You don't want to be no age going into prison or jail at that for some fucking kid shit. Don't put yourself in a situation because no one's going to help you. You know what I'm saying? Most of the prisons in West Virginia, if you noticed, if you did your own research, I've talked about a lot of murders, you know, that's happened in West Virginia prison systems. If you've noticed, most of those murders are on baby rapers. Like I said, if you're a certain individual and you have a certain type of charge, right? There's certain things you should say, shouldn't say. There's certain things you should do and shouldn't do. If you have a fucking sex charge, opening your mouth and talking shit is the last thing that you want to do, especially to people that have senses where they're never going home. Now you're going to end up getting killed. Like I said, Dr. Bob got fucking killed over a Bible verse. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple dudes that got fucking smoked at Huttonsville. You know, and dude on B1 ended up fucking getting killed by his cellmate named Click. You know what I mean? There's a lot of... Most of the violence is put toward sex offenders just because people have this hatred when you're sitting in prison for years and years and you might never be getting out. Say you have a bad phone call from home, right? Say your girl leaves you or something happened to your kid and now you're looking somewhere to focus all this hate and anger and rage out, right? There goes Billy over there who likes fucking with kids' buttholes. Okay, he says something slick to you, fucking slice his throat. That's pretty much how it normally goes down. People will say the wrong things to the wrong person at the wrong time. That's why I say with me working in the medical field at an urgent care, working with public, even if I'm having a bad day, I'm never going to put that off on somebody else. Because you never know what type of day someone else is having. Someone could be going through the worst time of their life. And if you bring even more negative energy into their life, they could snap. And guess what? You're going to be victim number one. No matter what type of day you're having, always show kindness and love toward those that are around you because you never know what someone's going through. Just because someone might have a smile on their face doesn't mean that they're happy and hearty inside, to be honest with you. So just make sure that you are not a fucking crappy human being and showing negativity and nasty shit toward anyone else. If you're having a bad day, keep it to yourself. Is that fucking subscribe button. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button for more shit. As you can see, Stone Collective Supply Company. Check them on Instagram. As always, the shit is fire. It's good shit. Good products. Great clothing line. Once again, great products. So, go ahead, check them on Instagram. Stone Collective Supply Company. Kale over there, boom with the shit. As always, I said my utmost love, loyalty, respect. Keep y'all heads up. I greatly appreciate your support. If you guys want to see some more prison content, go ahead and come on back. Have a good one.